Who cares about money? I just want to listen to your music.
Dream life, we can show you what it feel like. All you wanted was a deal, right? We ain't nothing like the mother has been. Low self-esteem, having rappers, right? Nah. I'm a shorty, see the real difference. See the numbers in this real distance. Lapping everybody else around.
Grace from Discourse Weekly. I'm here with Rebels No Savage.
Yes, sir. What's up? What's up? What's going on?
What's going on? This is Basil here. I thought you were going to say your name.
I was waiting for that.
Basil
too.
from Rebels No Savage here.
Oh,
I'm not gonna
sorry.
say your
All
name.
right. Yeah, I'm Evan from Rebels No Savage here. Birkenstock Dino on IG.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you guys. Yeah.
So did you guys come from Wilmington today?
Yeah, we drove up this morning.
Okay.
Nice little drive.
How, like, are you guys from Wilmington?
I am. I'm from Wilmington. Evan's from Greensboro.
Yeah. So about an hour, west of here. I used to pass Raleigh all the time, going back and forth to Greensboro and stuff like that. Never really had any friends in Raleigh until probably in the Fest. I feel like that's when I met a majority of like the Raleigh scene when it comes to hip hop. But cool spot.
So Rebels No Savage, where does that name come from?
That's Evan's name.
Man.
He came up with the name.
Yeah, so it was, long story short, I was in high school and we had this like little rap group and I was trying to be a producer at the time and we had RNS and it was going to be like real nigga shit. But then like, I was like, okay, maybe that doesn't roll off the tongue like that. So then at the time I came up with like Rebels, Not Savages, but then that's like too correct. So then I was like, all right, let me take off the Savages and the Not. So then Rebels No Savage and stuff like that. But now people think it's a band name. Like sometimes like, oh my God, how's your band going? It's like,
You got a boy band.
No, yeah. But that's how you came up with the name. We've been running with that ever since. But people like it. I think it's more.
I like it,
about
yeah.
the brand name, And we used to put out music underneath our separate artist names.
Yeah.
But then we decided
when we
to
first
just
met, we were just putting out
put on the Rebels. And
solo mixtapes, and then they're like, we should just. And he's like, all right, I got a name we can use.
Boom.
So what do you both do within the group?
So Evan's more like production, like that's his background. I think we both do a fair amount of like mixing, writing, coming up with ideas. A lot of it's just shooting ideas back and forth. So it's about like 50-50 on like the music creation side. Outside of production, I can't produce anything. But a lot of it is I like to think of how we can brand ourselves. Like, all right, these are some merch ideas. Let's go with, this concept for the rollout. Let's do this, let's do that. And then Evan's like dialed in on like production music and the EQs and all the shit I don't really understand, but yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's the majority. My strength, I have a background playing the violin for like 18 years. But walking around high school with violin wasn't really the coolest thing. But it's funny how that kind of turned now. So I'm using like my ear that I picked up through that to kind of approach our music and stuff like that. But now as we get older, we're starting to realize, music isn't enough. So like all the merchandising ideas, like the album design covers or how we're going to, schedule out content or releases, Basil usually runs those ideas through me. And I don't know necessarily what the best marketing strategy is when it comes to hip hop. So I'm like, hey man, it sounds great. So I think it kind of helps us out with output, right? Because we both cross section or come together for music. And then after that, we kind of can get into our own niche attributes and still contribute to the brand. Mm-hmm. So it's not really overwhelming. I feel like if you're one artist and you have to worry about, all right, how am I going to design the album or who's going to mix our stuff? And being able to record ourselves too, I think helps us out exponentially because that's just more money that you have to pay out and stuff like that. But no, it's cool. It's cool. I like working with Basil.
It's like a freedom thing, having like your own setup. When we were in college and we lived together, we had like 2 setups in the apartment, like one in his room, one in mine. And so like we'd be home for hours and might just be texting the whole time because he's in his room recording stuff, sending it to me, and I'm recording stuff, sending it to him, back and forth. So the freedom to just be able to record whenever you want, that's a major thing. But we kind of 50-50 on the creation side of it. A lot of it is just sending shit back and forth. Like, what do you think about this? What do you think about this beat? What do you think about this hook? That kind of.
How did you guys originally meet?
On Twitter, talking shit about Madden.
Yeah.
Evan is like Mr. Madden over here and likes to like play seriously and stuff. And I just was playing like Xbox and PSP. I was like, shit, I'll talk shit about Madden. But yeah, we met and we we were at UNCW, and the first time we hung out, we were playing Madden, and then he had like a whole setup. I was like, oh, that's dope. We started like recording a little bit just for fun, and then people were like, hey, y'all kind of sound good together.
Yeah, I think we put something out on SoundCloud. I think that's what it was.
We recorded like 5 songs.
It was totally like, I would consider it like meme kind of rap for the time. And so we were just joking around. I think we did it in like a day or two. And then when people started listening to it on campus, people were like, wait, y'all actually sound good together. So we're like, all right, we'll run with it. But yeah, very, very natural. Yeah, if you follow me on Instagram, every now and then I'll post all the people I sweep off the floor on Madden and video games, stuff like that. But that's something I've always done as a child.
Did you guys have like a certain first impression of each other?
Well, we met before. I didn't like Evan. Remember freshman year?
Oh my gosh.
So
I remember.
And I was like eating my food, minding my business.
And I asked about a haircut.
And he was like, hey man,
forgot.
I really like your haircut. And I was like eating my food, and I was like, yo, thanks, man. He was like, yeah, man, where do you go? And he starts asking me like if he could go to the barbershop with me and all this stuff. And I was like, bro, I don't know this. And then a year later,
gosh, it's funny.
Somebody sent me his music. One of our mutual friends, Aaron, who actually produces a lot of our stuff.
Oh my God, that's right.
Aaron, he lived like across from me freshman year in the same dorm room, and he was friends with Evan. And he sent it to me. He's like, hey, do you know this dude? This song is fire. And I was like, he seems familiar, and I can't really pinpoint it. And I was like, oh, that's Haircut Dude.
And it's funny because I remember talking to my mom because I go to the same barber in Greensboro. I forgot. I think it was like Faith Cuts or something like that. So when I moved to Wilmington, I was like in my head trying to figure out, oh my gosh, am I going to be looking crazy for my college years because I won't have the right barber? So my mom was like, why don't you just go around and ask somebody black? I'm like, I'm at UNCW. I have to go look through the trees almost to find someone black. But I totally forgot about that. Yeah, that was in WAG, our dining hall. So,
but it's funny because I actually went to the barbershop with people like from school. Like we would go to the barbershop. I don't know why.
Right.
So you didn't give the recommendation? You're like, nah.
I think I told him.
He told me.
Was,
okay.
Yeah. I was like, I didn't go with him or anything.
Yeah. And then funny enough, like there was a guy that ran track there named Trey, who I met. And then I think I went where Basil went 2 times, but then I think Trey was like a little bit cheaper. So I used to go to his spot all the time. And then that became my certified barber. Still to this day, I still get my haircut by him. But yeah, over a haircut, man, look at what happens. Haircut and then Madden and video games.
Haircuts bring you together.
Right, come on, man.
My hairdresser, I met her in 2018. Now we're good friends. I'm going to see her later. She's doing my hair.
Oh, see, so they last. Yeah, relationships like that last, Yeah,
we're going to go get margaritas after.
That's pretty cool.
So do you guys have any funny stories from the college days?
Oh, man, we have so many stories. Some aren't funny.
Yeah, some are funny.
Some are real. The funny ones, like, I don't know, looking back, they weren't funny, but like,
Crazy.
Geez, I don't know. Like, one funny story was opening up for City Girls, and then they cut our set off after
yeah, because we drove to Myrtle Beach, right? That was a Myrtle Beach.
They had a show in Myrtle Beach. It was when JT was in jail, and it was like the Drake album came out, and they were on, what was it, In My Feelings?
That's right.
They were performing in Myrtle Beach, and they're like, yo, the City Girls are looking for openers, and we thought this was going to be it. We were like, all right, we're performing for this, opening up for the City Girls. We practiced our set. We had it all. We do one song, and then we just hear like, and then the music stopped, and we were like
on
still
stage.
holding our mics up on stage. And we're like, what's going on? And they're like, all right, yeah, we done with that shit. And then like,
seriously,
and then like start playing like just top 40 hits. Just started playing like songs, and we just stand up there looking around. And we're like, what happened? What happened? They're like, yeah, Carisha wanted to go ahead and perform.
Yeah,
so,
I think she was late too.
Yeah,
I think we were waiting for her because apparently like she was running behind and stuff like that.
I love the City Girls though. It was just funny because we drove all the way down there. We did one song, and then we had to go back home.
Yeah, we thought
that's a good story. It builds character.
And one time we planned a whole show. It was years and years ago, like 2017. Like,
right.
Long time ago. And like, when I tell you nobody showed up, like it was the DJ and us. Like, it was.
You don't remember about those,
it was like raining and it was cold or whatever, but like nobody came. That was also funny. We literally just went home. And we were like, well.
Yeah, man. Dude, that is hilarious.
Did you guys still perform?
Yeah.
I think we did. Yeah.
No. Oh, at that show?
Yeah.
Nah. We grabbed like a drink and went home.
I'm trying to think about my funny story. I feel like my funny stories are traumatic. If you're trying to go viral, one time I got jumped by the UNCW basketball team. And then you remember out by, what was it, Carlton? Oh, see, I'm saying all these names, but if you're from Wilmington, you know exactly where Carlton is. And so it's like this living community, like right next to campus. So a lot of colleges went there. So long story short, there's a guy from the basketball team. He lived in the same apartment complex as my girl at the time, who I'm not with anymore. But I was trying to be Mr. Superhero Save the Day because he would sit on her in front of her apartment complex and like wait for her to get home and stuff like that. And as a boyfriend, I got to come in here with, oh my gosh, like this weirdo sits at the bottom of my stairs and I don't know what to do. And I'm trying to be proactive and give like, hey, you could tell him, hey, stop being weird. But she didn't want to do that. So long story short, I ended up saying something to him. And so I'm at a random track party. Next thing you know, I'm getting boop, 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 boop. And then the track team came out and stuff like that.
Yeah. Wax.
All right. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Diss record.
It was a diss record. I think we took down the music, but it was something along the lines of like I had said something to him in person and then I dissed him in the music and I didn't know any better. And then I get a random text. I wish I had kept my message history. It's a random text from a random number. And it was from apparently he lived in Greensboro because it had a 336 area code. But he sent me, I didn't like what you said. I heard you writing disses about me stuff. And I sent him the Birdman emoji. I ain't gonna say it no more. He just read it. And then 2 weeks from there, I ended up going to like a track party and stuff like that. And then of course I was there for like an hour. Everything was good.
Inside,
yeah.
So I'm not a bad friend.
I was there.
What was going on.
We were trying to figure out where to go. I think we were going to go home after that. And so I was going to get the Uber. And then, of course, we stay there for an hour and 30 minutes. And as soon as I walk out the door, who comes in? The basketball team. And I remember this statement for the rest of my life. I heard hey, yo, there go Ev. And from that moment, man, I didn't have time to pull out my phone, ask for backup and stuff like that. So that's when I learned I don't diss rappers anymore. If I do, it's very vague. But
I missed everything. Yeah. I walked outside and
he was like, what happened?
Yo, they almost left me for dead. This happens. Nobody tells me. I'm inside thinking like it's a party. And I look around like, yo, all my friends are gone. Where is everybody? I walk outside. Everybody's really in an Uber. Like the Uber's about to leave. And I'm like, yo, what's going on? And they're like, just get in the car. We're leaving. And I was like, all right.
But it was just a busted lip. It wasn't really that bad. But, you know, they were just upset about the words that I had said on Wax.
But this was a long time
ago.
This
was 2017.
6-7 years.
And I've learned my lesson. So going forward, I want to shake hands with you and have our conflict peacefully with a positive result. So
only friendly diss.
Right, friendly diss.
What is something that annoys you about each other?
Evan be late.
Oh yeah,
everything. Evan would be like, no, it was one time in college. I was at the Chick-fil-A in our campus. I was like, yo, I'm about to get on the bus, come back. I'm at Chick-fil-A though. And he's like, oh yeah, I'm actually on the bus headed to campus. I'll meet you there. And so I wait, I eat my food, and then like all my food's gone. I'm still waiting. The bus, like I see the bus cycle. It comes, it goes, it comes, it goes. I was like, yo, he's like, oh my phone, I'm leaving right now. And I was like, and so I still wait. And I was like, all right, whatever. I'm just get on the bus. I go home. I walk inside, and Evan's like playing video games like in front of his computer. I was like, bro, you said like 2 hours ago you were on the bus. He's like, oh my phone, I was leaving right now.
Yeah, usually if I say, hey, I'm gonna be there in 15 minutes, time's at like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Like be there in a sec for me is like 5 to 10 minutes max. So if I say, hey, I'm on the way, it means I'm making the decision in my head to get up now, but I'm not really actually on the way
to getting ready.
Yeah. For me, it's like the thought of being on the way and transitioning to whatever event we're about to do is happening now.
We put out a snippet the other day, and like Evan had a lyric that said, be there in a sec. And like one of our friends commented and was like, Evan has never said that. Never said that phrase.
Funny. That's funny. If I had to pick an annoying thing about Basil, I would probably say he's a stickler. So like if he wants something a certain way, like it's really, he has to convince himself like otherwise when it comes, especially like art. Most of the time I've seen what Basil has suggested work. And so I used to think, oh man, maybe we should try it this way, maybe we should try it that way. But he has a really good way of knowing what he wants. And I'm so indecisive. So I feel like sometimes me being an indecisive person, I'm like, yo, how does it, like, why can he double down on this so much? And I can't do that. But other than that, like, it's a pleasure to work with Basil, man. I don't know if you're trying to go viral or something. I don't know. Put us on blast.
We have a friend named Mike, and we did an album with Mike, and like, Mike I'm pretty sure he wanted to kill us by the end of it. Like I was on his ass every day. I was like, yo, Mike, we are finishing this mix tonight. We will be at your house. We're coming. I don't care what you're doing. We're finishing it. Like, but I feel like, we got to have like the yin and
important to have that. And I feel like you guys balance each other out.
Yeah.
People say we're like yin and yang. Like we have very opposite personalities. And even that Comatose, when we were recording that collab album with Mike Snyder, it was very like teeth pulling because my creative ideas, Basil's creative ideas, and Mike Snyder's creative ideas all in one sort of effort to make something. There's always going to be some like creative.
You remember Mike almost choked me at a party?
Oh, yes, that's true. Yeah.
I was like, Mike, come on, man. I'm not going to tell you anymore. He was like,
well, I love Mike, man. Shout out to 336.
Shout out to
another
Mike
Greensboro native.
Probably the most talented.
Oh, hands down, North Carolina.
He's crazy.
So you guys have Not For The album coming out?
Yes,
EP.
What can you tell us about that?
So our album, we're just perfecting it. It's almost done. We've been working on that for a while and really proud of what that's going to be. But we were like, we wanted to do something fun kind of before we got into that whole thing. We literally made these songs like within like a week.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Like a week or two, like really salted down and packaged up. I'd say about a week or two.
Because we get in a zone, we get in these recording zones where we'll work on an album. And as soon as we finish an album, before an album comes out, we're already working on the next one. And with this, like we just recorded, I think we recorded a song for YouTube or something. And literally when we had that song, we didn't have like all the rest of it, but like literally that week we just like we were recording and they were like fire songs and we were like, let's just put it out, finish the album, because we knew we weren't going to use them, so we were like, let's call it Not For The album, drop it.
I think it was the first song. I think the first song that you'll hear off the EP was one that we shot a video to and stuff like that. And then the guy he mentioned earlier who I guess connected us with music, Aaron, his producer name is A Slick, and we have another friend. We have a group chat of all four of us whose names both are Aaron.
Yeah, it's like
so two Aarons plus Evan and Basil, and literally every day, 7 days a week, we'll get notifications of just random beats, like they're making beats. So then it's just kind of counterintuitive to be like, all right, well, they're sending us all these fire beats. We might as well use the songs that we're making for something while we're trying to consolidate and like tweak the album and stuff like that. So yeah, 2 weeks later, we're like, all right, well, yeah, let's feed the streets a little bit.
And I think it helps you get better, like putting stuff like that out where it's like, okay, it's almost like lyrical exercise where we made these songs like, let's challenge ourselves. Let's see how good we can make these songs in a short amount of time. We're just having fun with it, but they're good. There's bars, there's beats, the quality is there, but we want to like push ourselves to put something out, let people enjoy it so we can really make this album that we have now. We really haven't spent time and effort into a project like this before, so we didn't want to just like put it out. So it's been like a year since we dropped anything, so we wanted to put out this EP.
And most of our music is feel good music. Yeah. Like, and with our next, I guess, creative work with this album coming up, like I think there's more of a conscious effort to have like a real cohesive, like top to bottom sort of feel. So when we made these songs, it felt like it was more, hey, do we like the song or do we not? I think every time, which I gotta have fun when I'm making music. So whenever I'm playing it back, if I can't nod my head to it, for me, then I don't think anybody else will be able to nod their head to it. Yeah. So all of these EP or songs on the EP, I feel like are just, bangers, melodic bangers, something you can play in the whip, something you can play when you work out. That's another thing too. There's music, I think the music that I gravitate to the most is stuff I can drive to. Yeah. Like in the car, like that's, if I can't play it in the whip.
Yeah, I love what it adds, listening to music in the car.
Oh man. It's a car test, man.
Yeah,
about the car test.
Do you guys have favorite songs off of that?
The new one or the EP?
The EP.
Yeah, I think there's a song called "Let Me Know," LMK on it.
Yeah. I like that one.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the yin and yang is usually we're going to come with some sort of melodic rap and then try to go back to back with just a straight banger rager.
Try to go hard.
I like the intro. Not for the album, just anything with trumpets, I feel like Basil kills. So, and Aaron, A Slick, I don't know which.
I think
AJM made that beat.
Yeah.
And I get so jealous because I'll hear the beat and I'll be like, oh my gosh, I got to write something to it. Then 5 minutes later, it was not for the album freestyle. And I listen to that probably like 3 or 4 times. And Basil will write songs and we'll be like, yo, there's no verse I can come up with. And I feel
But
like.
that's why let me know. So I didn't even get on that song. I was like, bro, this is fire.
Yeah.
Leave it how it
No,
is.
I appreciate that about Basil because sometimes like the song will sound done, at least in my eyes. So I'd be like, okay, there's no reason for me to sweat bullets on my forehead trying to figure out how I could like compete with Basil on this song. But it gives us flexibility. So sometimes you'll hear songs with just him. Sometimes you hear songs with me. Sometimes we'll, come together like some Dragon Ball Z sort of stuff. But that's what keeps.
Yeah, I was trying to guess when I was listening.
Oh, really?
To your music.
Some
Also,
people get confused too.
Yeah, because I was watching like YouTube, like some of your videos, trying to like just
Whose voice
figure
is
out
whose?
who's who. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure it out, but I like Snooze a lot too.
Oh, Snooze.
See, you like the two that are just Evan. I'm not on either of those songs.
Snooze. And literally, Snooze, I think.
That wasn't even going to be, it was a freestyle.
Yeah, it was
for
a
Instagram.
freestyle.
And I told Evan,
It's
I was
fun.
like, yo, make this one a song.
Right. And I felt bad because I wrote that. Most of the times I write things watching, this is probably a hot take. I've been in love with like Lifetime movies because not necessarily because they're good, but because the acting is so bad that it makes you kind of pay attention to it and stuff like that.
But do you think the acting's bad or the like writing production?
Oh, no, you're
Gotta
right.
figure it out.
Yeah. Writing,
I try to
storylines
guess
all over the
like
place.
which one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's both.
For sure. And I wrote that because we're trying to get, content is the new, I guess, wave. And so we're like, okay, how do we get more engagement on our Instagram? And so I wrote that freestyle just at night, like, all right, I'll record it the next day. It was like, oh, we should totally put that on the EP. And then I was sitting there, I was like, yo, I don't know how I was able to write that then. I can't write anything better than that. So we're just going to loop the chorus back and package it up and call it a song. But no, thank you. I appreciate that. I try.
I like the ordering too. I think what you guys said, how it started out, and then the last song too, and how it all like tied together was really good.
So, I obsess over like
sure.
albums, like how it sounds, the transitions, how it ends. Like I really obsess over how an album sounds. Like my favorite artist is Prince, and you look at his career. I think he put out 39 or 40 albums over his career, and artists just don't do that. Like they'll put out maybe like a single, especially in these days where you're not really incentivized as an artist to put out an album. It's a lot of like, put out this single, push it, get a few million streams. It's like
I'm gonna TikTok viral.
Yeah, it's like, and we were of the impression that labels still wanted good music. We were wrong. They want influencers. But no, I'm kidding. So like with him, like every single year you were expecting a quality album from him and you knew it was gonna sound good. Like you knew you were gonna get a quality album. And that's us. Like every few months you can expect you're gonna get a project from us that's, cohesive and sounds good. That outro on this EP was actually the original outro for our album.
Yeah.
But we ended up scrapping it from the album and using it for the EP.
Yeah, I love like when artists, you can tell, I think when an artist is very like involved in like the ordering and the tracks of an album versus maybe like the record label or like, other people doing it.
Yeah, I feel like in a lot of conversations we've had, even with other artists or just trying to figure out the way of the land when it comes to, hey, how do you get to the next level? We've always wanted to be very hands-on because from the jump, we recorded ourselves. From the jump, we were trying to look for our own beats. Hey, what do we like? So I feel like our ear is very much an integral part of our creative process as much as it is like the songs we make. And with this whole content thing, it's hard for me to, I think there's different purposes for music nowadays than maybe 5 or 6 years ago, especially with TikTok, Reels. So we're seeing a lot of maybe individuals that maybe wouldn't be involved with music now use music as kind of like a stepping stool
Or a way to get,
yeah. So it's mushing everybody into the same melting pot. Sometimes it's hard for me to get into content creator mindset when all I want to do is, come home, make a hard beat and try to rhyme cat with hat.
I cannot make a viral TikTok.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Same.
I can write you a 16, but I don't need, like, even the simple TikToks where the people are like, I wrote a good song today and this
Right,
song. I'm
right.
like, but how did they do that? How did the music come on? Like, how did they put their cover art? Like, I don't know how to do that at all.
It is like It's a learned skill.
Right.
Like it's very
It's very much an art
yeah.
form too.
Yeah, like it's having she looks so confused. Right? The noise. But yeah. Here, let me restart.
See a ghost.
When do you guys expect the album to drop?
Well, I think that kind of, I don't know. Everybody got quiet.
It's really
Well, we're like waiting. We're kind of trying to find, like a long-term home for Rebels No Savage. So we're waiting to figure all that stuff out before we put that out. But perfecting the album, getting it done. So hopefully next year sometime.
I don't know how viral I'm trying to go, but maybe my quotes. I feel like it's kind of like real estate. So it's very much on like the location of it. Like you have a house that you want to build, you know what you want to what it want to look like or what you want it to look like. But when you put so much effort into something, and we have naturally just put out a high output of songs, but as we get older, I feel like our skill level is getting better. And I joke with Basil about this all the time. Every album we release, I always think of like, oh my gosh, how are you going to make a better album than this? So now that we're at a point to where, we're meeting people, in the fest, like with Noah, all the connections, we're hearing different sorts of styles of rap. Now with how much effort we put into this, we kind of just don't want to throw it out there, like Basil said, just to be like, hey, here's another album that's going to be like the other 256 songs or 270 songs that we've made. So I think the EP gives us a little bit of leeway to like, hey man, we're still active, we're still doing things. But behind the scenes, when you're spending so much time working on music, it's like you even forget about people even recognizing if you're still working on music.
Yeah.
Cause like the cameras are off, the phones are off. I'm not one to post me like recording any of our album stuff most of the time. I'm very much about the presentation. I want it to be fresh. I don't want anybody to hear it. But the album, the link that we do have for the album, it's gotten a decent amount of streams without even being on.
Yeah, the album's an album. We'll send you the album. The album's
Okay.
It's like done. Like I would say it's like 98%
Done. Mhm.
99.
But people have been listening to it, and it's not even on like Spotify, Apple Music, and stuff like that. And it has a decent amount of streams and stuff. So people like it. It's a good test run. But it's our baby. It's like, well, I guess not our baby. We just went viral right there. But it's our best effort yet. So it's like we want to make sure it's presented right, and we
like
can
enough
do
people hear it.
Yeah,
too.
absolutely.
Because you can make an incredible album and then no one could hear it if you don't.
Yeah, exactly.
promote it
Tree
the right
falls in
way
the
or
middle
don't
of
have
forest,
that,
man.
yeah.
It's like, who's there to see it? Nah, I'm with you.
All right, so you mentioned Prince. Who else are your musical inspirations?
Like for Rebels on Savage or like individually? Like
Individually.
Okay.
Well, I learned how to rap by, I know the internet hates to do it. I learned how to rap by listening to Drake. Like literally when I learned how to do a rap voice by Kendrick Lamar. Like literally I would literally sit in my room or in my car practicing how to rap when I was in high school, like 16, 17. And I figured out how to do a voice by listening to Kendrick Lamar, like the different stuff he was on. I was like, okay, this is what he does. But I literally would like learn the lyrics to like Drake songs and rap along with him so I could get the flow. And I'm like, okay, once I got that song, I'm like, okay, I can rap like that. I can match how he was rapping on that. And I'll do the same thing with like Kendrick Lamar or other people. Really, Kendrick Lamar and Drake were like the two people when I was in high school. I really wanted to like, not emulate, but I really wanted my flow. I thought those were like the two greatest rappers ever to me at 16.
It's funny. Drake is like somebody that I thought like when I was listening to you guys' music, I was like, like the flow a little bit. I was like, I could hear some Drake in that.
Yeah, that's literally
like
how it's like in how I rap because that's literally how I learned to rap was listening to him and Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole. So like me, those three, even though it's stereotypical, those are like my top three. Like I would not be rapping if it wasn't for Drake and Kendrick Lamar.
But see, they've been around for so long. I think it's kind of unfair. Like they've just gone through the test of time. Like we're 10 years ago. I mean, Cole was up and coming. I mean, signed to Rock Nation. Drake was the rapper that everybody hated because he was more melodic than The Field. So I think it's kind of unfair for people like, they're just great at what they do. So they've stayed in hip hop long enough to where now it's become cliche to like Drake, like J. Cole and stuff. But yeah, I would say maybe the funny question, hey, what do we sound like? Like, do we sound like Drake? But we get Drake a lot.
Outkast too, I forgot.
Oh, yeah. Outkast for sure. I think my top three, well, the person that made me want to rap, the album that made me want to rap was Because of the Internet by Childish Gambino. That's probably one of my favorite albums from top to bottom, just because of his background. Like, he's an actor.
Yeah.
And so for me, it was more relatable music because I wasn't born like necessarily in the hood. Like, I don't think I've ever shot at anybody, been shot at. So for me, that was the music that connected with me a little bit more. Drake, of course, obviously, because I'm light skinned, like, I guess what do they call it? Hopeless romantic style vibes. And then Cole, I've always appreciated Cole's beats. I'm very production. I think my ear goes to production more than lyrics sometimes. But yeah, Cole, Drake, Kendrick, and then a fourth that's a sleeper that I don't think a lot of people listen to, but I think people should, is Johnny Yukon. I forgot where he's from, but he kind of makes very like dark, cold, not really club music, but very, I guess, retrospective music. And those were probably the four biggest influences of, hey, when I make a song, you can probably point to one of those four people, just when it comes to, like, I guess, our approach or my approach.
What do you guys like to do other than make music?
What? We're full-time rapper. What are you talking about?
Nah, seriously, when I'm like have free time, like I'm going through group chats trying to find beats or like writing. The other day I was really listening to like Nicki Minaj and I was like, I'm gonna freestyle a song on this album. Because like that's when I have free time, I'm rapping. If not, play on my dog or I don't know.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Everything. Yeah, it's just been, I mean.
Eat, sleep, breathe.
Eat, sleep, yeah, right. I come home, maybe I'll like make a beat, or I love watching YouTube music videos now. I feel like because that's kind of a lost art, but there's a lot of great videos and a lot of great directors shooting great stuff. Probably the most recent thing I've done is I've joined like a run club. And one of the things that's allowed me to do is like network with people that I wouldn't necessarily meet on a day-to-day basis and stuff like that. And sometimes I'll run with my phone in my pocket playing Rebels No Savage music. So I've gotten a couple fans like, wait, oh my gosh, you're the people that made Get Right? I used to listen to you guys all the time. What like,
you will not catch me.
It's hilarious.
Y'all will not
like
catch me in the run.
No, I mean, but it's funny. We've talked to people who've known us for like a couple months and then they'll find out, they find out or they like the song. One of our biggest songs is Get Right. I think that was the song that got us the most amount of popularity on campus. And people will talk to us for months in advance and then we'll have some random music conversation and we'll be like, wait, you guys are the people that made that song? And I just, I think it goes to show most of the time we're behind the veil. And yeah, we've run into people like, yeah, no, these guys are the guys that made that song. But other than that, I try to keep my music private a little bit, which I think has helped or negatively affected me sometimes.
We had a hip hop class in college. I'm interrupting.
Oh yeah, no, you're good. Go ahead.
We had a hip hop class. The class is about hip hop. Me and Evan are rappers. We're seniors on campus.
Yeah.
And I'm in the class. I'm like, yeah, I'm telling the teacher all about me. I'm like, yeah, I'm in a hip hop group. We got an album coming out, blah, blah, blah. He's like, oh, really? Who's the other guy? I'm like, Evan. He's like, he's in my other period and he never told me he was. I've had him in my class for months. He makes music. I'm like, bro, Evan's never told you he's a rapper? He's like, no, he never said anything. Apparently we had friends in the class with Evan too that would like look at him and be like, are you gonna tell him? Are you gonna tell him? And Evan never told the hip hop teacher that he made hip hop.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like more of the people, especially like when I've met like Justo, Noah, John, like all those people that I've met for most of the time, like I appreciate their music, but I want to know like, hey, yo, like, what do you do? What do you like? Like, kind of connections outside of music. Cause there's a duality that comes with people liking you, but they only see a certain side of you. And I'm so much of introvert most of the time. Like I'm just trying to figure out, hey, what you got going on today? Like it never stumbles upon my mind to be like, oh yeah, by the way, let me promote myself in this.
If I hear your music outside your headphones and I hear some, I'm gonna stop you and be like, yo, do you like rap? Like you should check me out.
But yeah, that's the yin and yang of Rebels No Savage. But I'm better about that now. RebelsNoSavage.com.
I'm the same way as you, like with like Disgrace Weekly.
It's
Like I'm very picky about who I like first tell about, you know, and like some people I never do. It's like a secret.
It's like a superpower almost a little bit.
Like, you know, secret life.
But it's cool when people find out about it, right? Like oh, I didn't know you did that. Yeah. That makes sense.
So, do you guys have any life advice?
You can follow me on Instagram, man. Every 1 week, so I'm always gonna say something.
Got some stories about his advice.
Well, like creative wise, I guess with music or
anything.
Damn.
It could be with music, whatever.
Oh, okay.
I think sticking to what you're passionate about, because I think a lot of times, my philosophy, the only way you can like guarantee you won't make it or won't succeed is if you give up. That's like literally the only way that you, for sure, will not get what you want or accomplish what you want is if you give up. So just, even if you go into like 2 Chainz, look how old he is. You know what I mean? Like Jay-Z's first album, he was like 26, 27 years old. Like there's no time limit on it. So stay in your lane and don't give up on it.
I don't know, like Tizo Touchdown, he's like almost like, what is he, 30 almost?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember Jet Rogers, shout out Jet Rogers from Greensboro. Like, it's amazing how many people, even Jack, who was the guy that showed us Jack Harlow? Was it Dan? Dan, yeah.
Shout out.
Dan, like, there's a couple people, Tia Corinne's another one, Dasha's another one, to where we've seen them go from like floor level all the way to like superstardom, breaking down barriers. Like, I mean.
Have you heard of Dasha?
Austin,
did your boots stop working? Have you ever heard that song on TikTok? Like,
it sounds familiar. I probably have.
Yeah, you probably have.
She's crazy talented, super dope. But there was this like community called Quadio, and it was for college musicians, and they had like thousands of people who would just be on this app like sharing music and stuff. And Dasha was on it, but she only had like, I want to say like under 1,000 listeners when we first like, oh, her music is dope. And they signed her, they started an independent label, and now she has like 26 million monthly listeners on Spotify. And I'm like, bro, all it takes is like persistence. Like we've seen it happen too many times with people where like we will know this person and then they reach a height that's like
one song.
It's really motivational. Like I get inspired by seeing like people like Tia Corine. When we were, I think it was 2018 or 2019, they had the Carolina Music Awards, and we met her there. And we're like, oh, she's so cool. We look
super
at her
down to earth.
She's
like because she's from Winston-Salem.
Yeah.
So I'm from High Point. That's like I could fall over and be in Winston-Salem. So it lets you know that, hey, you're surrounded by the right people in the right ecosystems to kind of like keep you motivated. But I think going off of what Bezos said, I think Steve Jobs has a quote just talking about, especially with music. Like when I think about from a rational standpoint, okay, like my parents. You went to college and you want to sit and rhyme words and make boom, boom, make loud noises, and you think people are going to pay you for that. So I think one of the things that keeps me, my advice is like, find what you're passionate about and do it because you're passionate. I mean, I don't think there's really anything rational about a lot of creative aspects of our life, especially in like the world of capitalism. But I think to be able to move through your skill sets and capitalize on your skill sets, I just think of how many cool people I've met through music.
Yeah.
Like Basil, you, In the Fest, people in Wilmington. Like I've made so many different relationships just by betting on myself, thinking like, hey, I like this and I want to continue doing this, and I think other people will like it. And then fast forward 7 or 8 years, you just see your network grow and grow and grow and grow. And I think, passion is what leads to confidence. Like someone who's very passionate about something, they don't really care about what anybody else says. It's more about the fact that, hey, I know I'm good at this. I know I want to see it through, and, enjoy the ride. Enjoy the ride. Because sometimes you'll be so focused on, every moment. When you actually take a step back and look back to how far you've come, you'll be like, oh man, I'd be proud if I knew I'd made it this far 5 years ago. So man, do what you're passionate about and just enjoy it, man. Like that. And if you don't enjoy it, man, why are you doing it?
Yeah, you meet a lot of people. And when you're more passionate about something, that's where you'll meet the genuine people that you want to meet too. Like when I moved to Raleigh from Wilmington after college, like I knew nobody. I knew nobody up here. I knew nobody in the hip hop scene. I knew nothing. Shout out Zach Kokas. He's
Zach.
the first dude who like showed me love up here and was like friendly and like talked to me and stuff. Like I would try to talk to other people, but I don't know if it's like a gang thing in Raleigh, but a lot of people weren't really fucking with me when I moved up here. But Zach, shout out to him. He's dope. We got a dope song with him as well.
It's so cold like the winner.
Yeah.
Go met the
Zach is
winner.
dope. But
man.
people like that. Like he had like a I think he had like a show or something at his house and I went to it and it was just like cool vibes. I met his mom there and everybody was cool. And I was like, people like that where you're just like, he's a dope artist. He does it because he loves it. And like even us, like in Wilmington, like in college, we met so many artists that were just, they're on the same wave as you. They're trying to, there's room for everybody. Right. So you're going to meet thousands, hundreds of thousands of artists all across the world that are trying to do the same thing as you. So making those connections, like Evan said, and just genuine, having passion for it and having the confidence, I think you're going to meet people that have that same kind of mindset.
Right. Shout out to Noah too. Like in the fest, man, I met a whole branch of people from the 919 just from that first summer in the Carolinas at, not summer in the Carolinas, in the fest at, I think it was Moore Square Park.
I went to that
Peanut
one.
had any water today?
Trying to stop because she does this and then she chokes.
Like you're just thirsty.
She's thirsty.
She drinks so much water and then she can't breathe. Stop.
You looking at you like, you drinking water?
She looks at me
That's
like
funny.
she's about to do it again. But I agree with that. Like it's been cool. Like I've been meeting more and more people and it is like a web, and it's cool to see what all these different creatives are doing and where they're going and who they're meeting and, where we're all going to go from here.
Yeah.
Peanut, come here.
It feels like it's a little bit of a community. It's like, I think the artist lifestyle, when you meet other artists, you kind of recognize everybody's united in the struggle, of trying to get to the next level. And it's healthy because, honestly, I don't know if this is something that's like ego for me to say, but I don't feel like a lot of people make music like we do. And even when I come to Raleigh, I don't, Justo sounds very different from Noah, sounds very different from Zach Kokas. Like, so I appreciated that North Carolina has a couple different feels when it comes to the hip hop scene and not everybody, are rapping on the same beats and stuff like that. It feels like real art. So, Raleigh's fun. Raleigh's a lot of fun.
Did you guys see the drama with Tyler, the Creator's interview recently?
Oh yeah.
It wasn't even I agreed with him, but a lot of the people are sounding like what word did he use? They're copies of each other.
Yeah, meme raps or people will admit in front of camera hey, I don't make rap music because I enjoy doing it. I'm just in it for the money, and people are okay with that.
And there's also a two sides to it too. Like with me, I tell you, when I was in high school, the way I learned how to rap was listening to Drake and Kendrick Lamar music. There's a lot of people, and just because like with Ian, just because he's white doesn't mean he can't rap like Future. To me, I don't think that has anything to do with it. Wherever you're from, your friends are your friends. What you do is what you do. I don't think you got to be black to rap. I think that as long as you are doing something fun and you're passionate about it, like Evan said, Ian, he seems like he's passionate about what he does. He has a confidence in it, and you listen to the music. If you're not looking at him, you're gonna listen to it and say, "This is dope." So you're not really gonna add judgment until you have a picture next to it. But I think it's like a troll. It's funny. He has the sock tan and everything on his cover art.
How do you guys feel about what's his name, Lil Mabu or whatever?
Lil Mabu.
Who's
Mabu, whatever. He's the white kid that be out
He has a crazy hair.
I think he has regular hair. Let me find a picture.
See, I'm out of touch. I don't know half of the new rappers. I just learned who Ian
he
was,
can rap.
He
sounds like
It's more of his image, I think, that people have a problem with.
Yeah.
But that's one of the things we learned.
It's this kid. And he'd be out there with guns and shit and whatnot. He's good. But
I've never.
He's gone viral with a lot of people. But yeah.
One thing about hip hop, especially from that hip hop class, we read a book called Can't Stop, Won't Stop, and I kind of nerded out about it. All right, man, come on, you can sit right here. I'm good, bro. Go ahead, bro. It's hip hop has always been about breaking the rules.
Yeah.
If you look at the 90s going into the 2000s, hip hop has been the genre to where, hey, if you were going to do something out of the loop, you can't do. Hip hop is such a wide genre. Look at country, look at EDM has a lot of subgenres. But I think, hey, if there's one thing about hip hop, it's about breaking the rules. So I think it's counterintuitive to judge people that maybe don't go with the normal aesthetic hip hop, even though it's black culture and African American culture like ingrained in it. But if you look at hip hop notoriously at any state timeline, people were doing things that were against the grain that eventually became the norm. Yeah. I mean, even Drake, you know what I'm saying?
And like a lot of people get mad at that, but like conscious hip hop is not hip hop. Like hip hop is not conscious music. Like hip hop was made from taking like break beats, like taking songs and like dancing to them at parties. Like
refitting.
These were like like graffiti artists and stuff. Like you look at the origin of hip hop, it comes back from like graffiti and stuff like that. People were doing fun stuff, like Evan was saying, going against the grain, like
storytelling, thinking about real experiences,
like trying to. Well, even like before that, like they were at parties, like on Sedgwick, like when hip hop was literally created, they were just making like beats that people could like. They were rapping with DJs and just having fun. Like you weren't going to the party to hear about what Ronald Reagan did in the, somebody will rap about that, but that's not what it was
birthed off of.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like that's definitely a sect of it. But I look at it like, I mean, it's a weird comparison, but you have Christianity and then you have hundreds of sects of Christianity where it's still Christianity, but then you have Baptists, you have evangelicals, you have, Jehovah's Witnesses, like my mom. But you have like all these people and they're all Christians. Like me, I don't look at hip hop and say, oh, it all has to be conscious. It all has to be this. There's room for Ian. There's room for my favorite rapper when I was in high school was I Love McConan. And he like,
I like him.
Yeah, he's dope. And so like, there's room for all of that. And so I hate when people, especially ever since I became an artist and like know what it takes to make music and to make something sound good, like I'll never judge somebody's creative process or their music publicly, I guess. But like to me, seeing all the work it takes, I understand, I guess, the plight of the artist. So I'm not going to be like, oh, you don't belong here, you're this. When we started rapping together, me and Evan around school, people they wanted to rap with Evan, not me. And so like we would come over and we'd be playing beats and I would be writing my 16. They'd be like, oh, there's this song's kind of full. It's already at 3 minutes. I was just going to get, because I wasn't the rapper at college, Evan was. And so now you fast forward and it changes. So I never like gatekeeping in hip hop. I think we're all here to have fun, do what you do, and there's room for everybody. So,
and if I don't like you as a person, I'm not making a song with you, bro. Yeah. Now maybe if you take that back. If you pay us, maybe there's a different circumstance we can agree upon. But 9 out of 10 times, like if we're most of the songs that we create with others or collab with others, it's usually off of a genuine sort of relationship. Like, hey, we really appreciate your music, or when we talk, it's not all about hey, what you can do for me or what I can do for you. It's a little bit of a melting pot. So I never wanted like to lose that. And even there's sometimes to where like people, I guess, will be like, hey, let's get a Basil feature or get an Evan feature, but we'll still put it under Rebels No Savage. Because I think we're committed under like the brand name. Like I never want to feel like I should separate myself from the brand when I've invested so much time and energy into packaging it up together.
You're not going to do a Ray Shremmerd.
I'm not going to do it. Well, Basil talks about, if you look at all the rap groups,
they all... Everyone that failed or ended or whatever is because somebody wanted to be Beyonce. But that's why Evan mentioned earlier, we were like solo first. Yeah. So when we met, we were making music together, but a lot of it was like Evan featuring me or me featuring Evan. And we were just putting out like little mixtapes or whatever. But then when we committed, we're like, all right, we're going to make a group and this is what we're going to do. We like committed to it. We like all of our old stuff, you can't even find it anymore. You just find Rebels No Savage, like one logo, one kind of entity. So even if just Evan is on a feature with somebody, it'll say featuring Rebels No Savage. If it's just me, because like you said, like Ray Shremmerd, like that's like one of the most iconic groups ever. And then like, I don't know, I feel like it's confusing when it says like featuring Slim Jimmy or featuring Sway Lee. I like featuring Ray Shremmerd, you know what I mean? Like you're part of the group is what you are.
I think there's some value in the group. It's never been done before. So I guess, hey, people will say maybe we're going to go against the grain again. But I do think if we see it through and just build the brand of Rebels No Savage, people are always going to know Evan. People are always going to know Basil. But I mean, there's always a first for everything. So we'll see what the future holds.
No breaking up.
Yeah. Shout out to Ray Shremmerd, though. Love y'all guys. And Outkast.
Yeah, shout out to Outkast. That's the real blueprint.
No, man, you like Outkast.
Okay. So is there anything else you guys want people to know about you?
People know.
Evan is allergic to mad stuff.
Oh yeah. Oh man, we can have a whole nother podcast on what I'm allergic to. I'm allergic to like
You can't have anything.
yeah, dairy. I'm allergic to dairy and eggs. So any breakfast food out the window. People would like order pizza, be like, yeah, we're gonna get some pizza. Oh wait,
You have to get one pizza with no cheese. No-
Yeah, people call me a serial killer because I eat pizza with no cheese. It's just like, oh yeah, see, there you go. I get that similar
I
reaction.
just feel bad for you.
Yeah, no eggs, pancakes,
No
what?
ice cream.
Ice cream. Yeah, what's your favorite?
Yeah,
food?
we would be like, oh, this chocolate is so good. Oh, sorry.
Cotton candy. Did you make cotton candy with milk?
Cotton candy ice cream.
I haven't had cotton candy in a
cotton
while.
candy ice cream. is like-
Oh, see, no, but ice, nothing. Maybe icy. That's about it.
I guess you could. What about coconut ice cream? Or like,
Oh, so yeah. And funny enough, when all these vegan or gluten-free options, because when I was a kid, I remember
Yeah.
the shift. Like there was only soy milk. Everything else was got
yeah,
milk.
remember when we got
Yeah,
soy
everybody
milk?
was, and like I was dead ass. Like I would walk in Harris Teeter with my mom, and they'd only have soy milk. So my morning would be like soy milk with Frosted Flakes, turkey bacon, and like apples. Like that was my morning breakfast. And then now that there's vegan, vegetarian options, there's like rice milk, almond milk, coconut milk,
Almond
all
milk
sorts
is
of
good.
oat milk.
Almond milk is
Yeah.
kinda close.
So, you know, I appreciate everybody else hopping on the bandwagon, but I took the arrows from when I was a kid, you know, when it comes to.
I feel that I was a vegetarian as a kid, so
What
growing
made
up,
you change? Like,
I always was like my parents were.
Okay, yeah.
So like growing up, like you know, guacamole was weird, or certain like things were weird, and now it's like cool.
guacamole. I like avocados, but I can't stand guacamole.
Really?
Yeah, listen. A lot of weird things about Evan, man. Y'all should just listen to the music. Don't find out about all the allergies.
Most of the stuff that like you'll be into as a kid that you find cool, everybody will try to say it's not cool.
Oh,
and then
facts.
as soon as you become an adult, it's all the popular
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh
I was
my
obsessed
gosh.
with wrestling in middle school. Like I used to bring my action figures to school. Like I was that kid. And everybody's, oh, you're so lame. And now everybody want to be 30 years old at WrestleMania and telling all their friends to watch SmackDown versus Raw. So I don't know.
That was like me with video games. I used
Yeah.
to wear like I remember in sixth grade,
Competitive jerseys.
competitive gaming jerseys to school. Bro, what do I look like getting off a school bus with a competitive gaming jersey and a violin case going to like track practice? Yo, that's like you're walking into like a hellfire doing that kind of thing. But now, fast forward, there's an organization called Forsaken, and it's one of my friends from LA who I used to play competitive Call of Duty with, and he has like a huge following in the kind of like I would call it like amateur Halo scene, to where he likes our music so much he put Rebels No Savage on one of his jerseys, and they've been winning money at several like Halo competitions and stuff like that. Yeah, I'll send you a picture of it.
RNS
But
esports.
it's just funny how things when you're a child that just seem like hobbies and stuff like that. Even like there's some gaming friends I met when I was 10, 11 years old, you know, over a headset. Oh, and we could talk about Fierce too.
Oh, yeah.
Then we could talk about him. But it's funny how you get to see everybody grow up in their own lanes, and y'all may have never even met before. Now you're following each other on Instagram. People are having kids, people getting married. So it's kind of crazy. I think there's a lot of upsides to being a video gamer, not just the nerds and the yelling at 2 a.m. because somebody's shooting you in Call of Duty. But there's another guy that I was going to speak on. His name is Fierce, but he's Amir. He used to run track in Atlanta, and he met one of Drake's producers. That this is not quotable, but I'm pretty sure this is correct. He met one of Drake's producers playing a Mortal Kombat fighting game over the internet, and they just connected. Why? Because I guess one of Drake's producers is Boy Wonder. I mean, Grammy nominated. You know, enough said about him. Great, phenomenal producer. But yeah, one day, just the right time, the right moment, you have one of my friends who I used to play Xbox with one of Drake's go-to producers playing a game. Next thing you know, like he's making songs for Jack Harlow, Nicki Minaj.
Jack Harlow, Nicki.
Push-ups. He worked on push-ups for Drake. So I mean, like it just, like Basil said earlier, seeing your friends and people that you're networking with ascend. It feels like, hey, why not me? You know, so you know, it's fun. It's fun. I appreciate my hobbies now. I wear my gaming jersey proudly inside my house.
Next performance.
Performance.
Bring out the gaming jersey.
Man, if I Yeah, see, I think I got to do something that's more. I've always wanted to do like a baseball tee sort of. Oh, you know the Comatose jacket that you made, like the executive producer with the button down. Because the gaming jerseys, I feel like they get pretty. I use it for when I need to sweat. Like if somebody's beating me in Madden and I've maybe lost a game or two in a row, I got to get out and go in my closet, get my gaming jersey. You know, help me carry myself to the next Call of Duty gaming win. But you know, only for special purposes.
So I wanted to thank you guys for, coming out all the way out.
Of course.
No, for sure. Appreciate you having us on.
Thank you, Peanut, for the cuddles, I guess. Randomly through the middle of the podcast.
This is what she wanted the whole time.
That's all good.
Thank you, anybody that's watching. Subscribe, like, all of that. Follow them at Rebels No Savage.
Rebels No Savage, all platforms, rebelsnosavage.com.
Not for the album, August 30th. Available everywhere.
Listen to it.
Shouts to 9 Dime 2, Port City, stand up. I wear that on my chest even though I'm from Greensboro.
Yeah, I'm not even from
Even though I'm from the borough. But thank you. It's fun.
Thank you.
I wanna rock right now, but they try to buy my style. Okay, that's cool. You heard about me, they probably